Hi, Verona. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm great. It's really good to have this live chat with you. I know we did have it previously, but due to tech glitches, we couldn't do it. So we can finally have this beautiful chat today. I wanted to ask you, out of fascination, how did your passion for the arts come about?
Well, growing up, I've always been a creative kid, always making cards, and I realized at some point, I really did enjoy it, but it only occurred to me until we reached, I think it was grade 9, where we had to see the grade 12's exhibition, and myself and my friends walked in, and there's a whole load of artworks all over in the classroom on the walls, and that was the exhibition. And just before, I think before we can choose our subjects, we were, wondering, should we take art? Because, I mean, will we ever be able to draw as good as these people? And I guess that's when the inspiration starts, when one of my friends said, it doesn't matter if we know or don't know how to draw, they're going to teach us. So let's just go for it. So from there, I built my art mindset. And ever since, I don't think I ever put the paintbrush down.
Okay, my next question for you, like any major inspiration?
Well, in high school, that's where all the art grooming process started. So I had a teacher called Mr. T. Govender. He was one of the greatest inspirations. He's also an
Okay.
exceptional artist.
Wow.
And he showed us some of his artworks. And, he's always been teaching. So you would think, some teachers, although they teach, they don't really um, have the whole art thing going on. But he was really good. And he also pushed me to continue arts further. So in that, although I did study civil engineering, aside from that, I still was able to continue with visual arts. And surprisingly, it has been all that I know.
Okay. What have been like your high moments and your low moments throughout this whole art process so far?
I would say, okay, let's go for the highs. Highs, so there was a point where I was constantly creating like custom artworks, pencil sketches. I realized that, people actually do value it, it would be nice. But although time was getting consumed, and I think maybe the lows were that the times where I wasn't doing much art. Now, as an
Hmm.
artist, all the artists know if you're not expressing yourself, then you're
Hmm.
containing yourself.
Hmm.
And every time um, when I'm not pushing forward to do another artwork or to create, you always feel a bit more trapped. And artists have a whole lot of emotions, all artists, whether it's music, or whether it's artists that sketch or whatever it is, or sculpt. As long as you're creating, you are expressing yourself. So not being able to do that, it gets very straining. That's the lows.
Okay. I noticed that there's some beautiful art behind you. Any anything that piqued your curiosity behind those arts behind you?
Well, the artwork that you see behind me here, the self-portrait, and it's not complete. It's just in a process of layering. So I use the technique of layering, artwork. I'm in a paint one on top of the other to try and get a different kind of texture and whatnot. And well, the topic of that artwork was based on um, South African Indian globalization. And it's a part of another artwork, which I'll be able to intertwine it together. So it's taking like two generations and putting it together. So that's my generation there. The other artwork, it's like a drapery of a woman and her back and stuff. I think that artwork, I was actually showing one of my friends how to get the drapery right, you know. And in the process, I had a whole lot of paper, waste paper. So I said, I can't let this go to waste. So I wanted a different kind of texture. And so I took different pieces of the paper, cut it all up into pieces, and stuck it one on top of the other next to each other. And when I was using the pencil, it was giving a different kind of texture. When you're shading, you'll be able to
Hmm.
see what's on top of the other. So, and then I guess it's that is more of an expressionist, like I think I was expressing my feelings back there
Hmm.
with that
Hmm.
artwork. Um, so yeah.
Okay. This, I wanted to know why the name Savage Art Studio?
Okay, so Savage Art Studio came about at campus
Oh.
around the table with a friend, and I at that time I thought to myself, I would like to have a page for my artwork so I can keep on posting it. Sometimes people ask, "Oh, can I see some of your artworks?" And I'll send all those pictures all the time. So I thought it could be a great platform to put it all there. We were we were all together, and I'm thinking about the name, and I know, to me, um, art expressed in myself is something that needs to be done on a daily basis. And when you're in an artwork, now I usually do artworks at night because it's much quieter and you're just allowing your emotions to flow. And there is no limit, there is no tamed passion. You're just constantly at it. And I thought of it as a savage, something that's uncontrolled, wild talent, you might say. And heart, because you put in your passion into it,
Hmm.
you put
Hmm.
in your all into it. But everybody got heart, you know. So I took out the E and I put a apostrophe there. And you still know what it is, although it's spelled differently.
Hmm.
So that's how we came about it.
Is there any words of inspiration for the upcoming people that may be interested in taking up art?
Oh, to the young artist. Well, I have
Yeah.
many young artists or kids who actually would love to have done art. You'll find that when my cousins come home, they're always like, "Oh, what are you creating now?" Or even family or friends, they're like, "Oh, what's your next creation? What are the pieces that you're working on?" So to those artists who want to grow up in a more mature artist world, I'd say keep on creating, keep on expressing yourself, not necessarily of what the world needs to see from you, but what you feel like creating. Because it's in those things that your admiration comes through, that you yourself will grow as a person. I've seen a lot of artworks that I've done, and only afterwards I look back and I think, oh wow, I've really had a whole lot of emotion stream on that. And it's like different phases of your life, and it's quite interesting to learn about it because you're also learning about yourself. you know you're learning how you deal with things, how you look at things. Sometimes you're not able to express it in words, but when you're there sitting down with your paint, you're able to see that, wow, I had an idea and I'm following through with it. I don't know where I'm getting, but I know what I want to do right now. So it's a learning process. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful process, in fact, and that's why you'd
Hmm.
find a lot of people, um, whether it's children, psychologists always makes them to draw to express their feelings to find out what's really wrong with them. You know, you'd find that adults, when they need to be more relaxed, they use art therapeutic. It's therapeutic. It helps, it nurtures you. So in the process, it's a win-win for you or for the person that's buying your artwork and for you that's creating it. Because sometimes when you're creating your artworks, you're thinking, I really hope this person enjoys this artwork, loves it, see the emotion, every effort that I'm putting into it. So yeah, pretty much that.
On that note, I just want to say thank you for giving me your time, and hopefully, this is the first of many.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.